again. They're in my flowers. I just planted those last week. This is the third garden they've torn up this month. I'm calling the police. Unfortunately, in Ada, it's become kind of a common problem that skateboarders have been tearing up the yards of people in the town. Not only have they been on private property, but they've also been skateboarding or biking or scootering on business property as well. So my proposal is that we take some area in Ada and turn it into a public space for them to skate or bike or scooter. So I'm Katie, and I don't skate even though I'm pretending to play that part today. And the idea actually came from the mayor of Ada. We were talking about trying to figure out a way to meet an unmet need in the community. And he said that this was one of the concerns that's been coming up over and over again in the town. So we decided, me and 2 other students, we decided that we would go to Ada High School and we would ask the students what they would like to see if they were to have a skate park nearby. We had an overwhelming response. We kind of came with like 20 sheets of paper hoping some of the skateboarding kids would come up and give us an answer. When actually the principal announced us and we had this whole influx of students come in and talk to us saying, oh, well, we really would like this. We could have one of those. And it was really fascinating to see the entirely interested student body come up to us and give us all of their creative ideas. So what kind of ended up happening is we went through the numbers and tallied them up, and they really would like to see a bowl, some stairs, and maybe even a couple of ramps and like a half pipe, which we kind of looked into, and we were hoping that we could convince the community to help us get involved with this. So the kind of cool thing was that skaters or not, people were interested in having this happen in our community. So in the Restore down on Main Street even agreed that they would be willing to adopt our skate park and turn it into like a youth program and work with it that way so we could have some supervision and have fun for the kids, keeping them safe, as well as keeping safe the flower gardens of our Ada community. Thank you. Any questions?
Katie, what are you looking at for the cost of putting something like this together?
The cost of putting something like this together. It's really interesting. There are a couple different ways you could go about it. There are a lot of different websites that offer like buying an entire park together as one unit, which is usually kind of pricey, but there are also other websites where you can take pieces and parts and stick them together. I wasn't able to find a bowl by itself, but things like a ramp, I think, what was it? It was American Ramps said that OC Ramps said it'd be around $3,500 for like a 16-foot half pipe. Whereas if you looked at American Ramps, they had $27.5 thousand for a ramp and half pipe part put together. So it kind of depends on how you're planning on mixing and matching it. So you can kind of afford it based on what you can do.
Have you looked into any community grants? I know the playground equipment that we got here in Ada, we got a grant. Have you looked into any grants?
We were talking with the mayor, and he said that they actually had some money set aside for improvements to Ada Park, just that nobody's come up with a plan and a budget and like a blueprint as to what to actually do with it. So we figure if we can get a good enough blueprint and budget together and present it to the board, that hopefully they'd see the same way that we do that it's important for the community.
How long do you think it'll take to actually establish this?
Like the planning?
Park.
Like to get it up and running?
Yeah, to get it up and running.
I guess it kind of depends on all the red tape that'll go through going through the community. However, we're actually hoping to get a blueprint up and ready in a budget by the end of the quarter as part of a project for class.
How do skateboard parks handle the issue of liability insurance?
Liability and insurance, that's not something that I've had a lot of experience with, however something we plan on really looking into. The resource said that they'd be willing to have after school programs where they would have somebody there potentially like helping out the kids and making sure that other activities other than skateboarding and biking and stuff weren't occurring to make sure that it's still a safe part of the community to do. But we'd have people there supervising so that, you know, if someone falls, they're not by themselves and having lovely newspaper articles written.
Do you know of any similar parks in small towns that you could pattern ours on?
There are a couple. I'm not from Ohio, so I'm a little weak on the Ohio names, but I was looking into it, and there's actually a company semi-locally that has a lot of different parks kind of scattered around Ohio. So.
How are you going to market this to the local town people and the college students?
Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
How are you going to market it to the townspeople as well as the college students?
We were hoping just to kind of by word of mouth. I mean, we got introduced at the high school by the principal just to the lunch group, in the cafeteria, and everybody got really excited about it. I figure like we could also have like maybe an opening event where, you know, it's like come check out the new skate park and stuff and get people hyped up about it that way. We're also thinking about potentially having like summer programs where we have somebody come in and instruct people. Like we can charge a small fee just to pay the instructor to come in and teach kids how to skate, and hopefully that way get the community more involved too.
If you have somebody supervising all day, how much is that going to cost?
That's a good question. We're thinking about like potentially having volunteers do it, but I mean you could also wage them. I'm not really certain what the going rate for chaperone is, but I mean it could be like a babysitting fee, I feel, type thing.
What would you think would be the age group that you target?
It was kind of interesting. We went to Ada High School, which has middle school and high school students, and we got a surprisingly larger response from the middle school kids. I don't know if just because they're less shy or if that's because they're more interested. However, I feel if we initially targeted the middle school kids, it would be a younger generation to get people started.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much.